So please be seated. I wanted to mention that we have IPREX members here from 15 countries in Europe, Asia, the Gulf states, I don't know if I left anything out, Latin America, and I wanted to tell you what a thrill it is to have all of you who have taken this long journey here. Also, we have IPREX members from 30 states in the United States here, so it is, this is really, this is great to have this kind of gathering. I want to thank our panelists, but I'm going to get to you in just a minute. I also want to thank John Doorley, NYU's, John, please stand, thank you. John is the head of graduate public relations studies at the NYU Business Stern School of Business, and they have been our wonderful co-sponsor on today's event. So thank you, John. And John is going to close our panel at about 2:30 and give some summary remarks. Our panel is going to be moderated by John Byrne, who's executive editor of Business Week, and I'm just going to say a few words about John in a few moments. But first, I just wanted to again introduce our panel and Ray Cairns of Pfizer. Oh, let me say before I even do that, that all of these people occupy worldwide communications positions or leadership, major leadership positions in their companies, and the intent here today is to get a global perspective. So down to my immediate right, Ray Cairns of Pfizer, Barbara Pierce of Eastman Kodak, Mike McDougall of Bausch & Lomb, Gary Sheffer from General Electric, then John Burns, Harvey Greisman of MasterCard, Carl Folta from Viacom, and Steve Dishart of Swiss Re. Now, we've asked these panelists to talk about how their diverse companies are responding to the great reputation crisis that has been caused by this unbelievable economic downturn. And as a starting point, I've suggested that the crisis has devalued reputation in about 4 ways. And the first, the reputation of free market capitalism has definitely been tarnished through this experience. And there are many people who I've talked to who even say that it has failed. And with the credit crisis and the government bailout, there is no doubt that there are going to be many practices in the United States and how we work abroad that are going to be changing. Secondly, there's been a devaluation of ethics. It's reflected in more than one Ponzi scheme that we've seen, the perception of excessive executive compensation, and of course, very lax regulations. Thirdly, and these all feed into this third area, is the devaluation of leadership competence. Only a few years ago, there were many CEOs who were considered to be celebrities, and that's always a factor. I think today there are many that are looked at as being part of an entitled system, and even questioning their ability to competently lead. The fourth devaluation point, I think, is the attack on trust and confidence in the business community. And just a couple days ago, I saw this survey that was done by a UK market research firm that indicated that in '09, one of the global trends of our world really is going to be in the area of trying to rebuild trust. Now, interestingly, one of our panelists today had to cancel, and that was Robert DiFilippo of Prudential Financial. And he called me actually at 10 o'clock feeling very, very bad about this. But he said that I could even explain why, and even asked that I would explain why. And it sort of feeds into everything that we're going to be talking about, which was, he said last night at about 7 o'clock that Prudential got approval for TARP monies that they had applied for, and now that they got them, he said they were beginning to question whether they wanted to actually accept them because of the constraints, number one, and the reputational issues that could be caused by this acceptance. So he said that, you know, he has been on the talking to the media since 7 o'clock last night, and he said that the board is all over him today, and so he literally cannot move, and so it was understandable, but it feeds right into the discussion we're going to have. So obviously, there's much more than that. That's why we have this excellent panel here today, and which is going to be led by definitely one of the journalists that I've admired most in my career, which is John Byrne. And John is responsible at Business Week for the brand of Business Week. He's responsible for the management of Business Week, and being the new media champion that he is, heads up Business Week Online. So, John, I thank you very much, and I'm going to turn the panel over to you and let you kick it off.
Well, Ken, thank you. I didn't think that you would actually steal my thunder, because you're more cynical than a journalist, aren't you? I mean, the devaluation of ethics, devaluation of leadership, the attack on trust and capitalism, you're leaving no room for me. Seriously, I spent most of yesterday with a well-known management guru. His name is Jim Collins. He has a new book that's coming out next week. And the new book is entitled How the Mighty Fall. And in it, he describes 5 stages of decline that all of us have recognized, probably in companies that you've represented, or maybe your own companies, or maybe even your own personal life. And you start like this. And I think it's relevant because it tells us how uncertain the time is in which we're living. We start with hubris, born of success, and certainly many of us have seen or worked in organizations whose success has led to arrogance and even a false sense of confidence. You move to stage 2, it's undisciplined pursuit of more, right? Once you achieve great success, you seem to think that no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, you can't do it wrong, and you want to increase your empire. The third is denial of risk and peril. Think about how these line up with many of the financial institutions that have either gone begging to the government or no longer exist. The fourth stage, grasping for salvation. We just saw Chrysler pass through that stage into stage 5. And that's exactly where GM is right now. And the 5th stage, capitulation to irrelevance or death. Now, this is from the author. Sounds like a great book. Yeah, this is from the author who wrote Built to Last and Good to Great. Very positive titles. And now the first chapter, I love the title of the first chapter. It's called The Silent Creep of Impending Doom. Reminds me of a Edgar Allan Poe poem. Anyway, we have a great panel here in these uncertain times, and everyone up here is on the front lines of reputation and public image. And this cannot be an easy job. I would not want any of these jobs, no way, because they get blamed for it all. I think these are increasingly important jobs for companies. And the format of the panel is going to be simple. We're going to have each of our panelists talk a little bit for 5 minutes about reputation in their companies. I'll throw a few questions out, and then we'll engage all of you.